Welcome to Literary Reviews. I am Ian Smythe. Please note, it is not recommended to use my opinions in schoolwork. You will fail. In this episode, we will discuss one of the best-known works of William Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. Most of Shakespeare's plays were performed at the Globe Theatre next to the Thames River in London. The play begins in 15th century Verona, Italy, where the two most powerful families, the Capulets and the Montagues, are engaged in a vicious, long-running feud. Romeo, a young Montague, is initially lovesick for a woman named Rosaline, who has vowed to remain chaste.
Rosaline.
Lord Capulet plans a feast to introduce his daughter, Juliet, to Count Paris, a kinsman of the prince who wishes to marry her. Romeo and his friends, including the witty Mercutio, crash the masked party, hoping to see Rosaline. Instead, Romeo sees Juliet and instantly forgets Rosaline, falling immediately and deeply in love with Juliet. Juliet feels the same intense connection.
Hubba hubba. That baby slamming.
Methinks he could be adequate.
Romeo and Juliet discover each other's identities, that they belong to the enemy families, but their love is already sealed. Romeo sneaks into the Capulet orchard and finds Juliet on her balcony.
Who goes there? Take heed. Me shallst call emergency services on thee.
Chillax, woman. 'Tis me. You sure do get fired up easily.
They exchange passionate vows of love, agreeing to marry in secret the very next day. The young lovers enlist the help of Friar Lawrence and Juliet's nurse. Friar Lawrence reluctantly agrees to marry them in secret, hoping that their union might finally put an end to the destructive family feud. Romeo and Juliet are wed in the friar's cell.
Hopefully this will heal the feud between your houses. Enough already with this star-crossed astrology hocus-pocus.
Shortly after the wedding, Romeo encounters Tybalt, Juliet's hot-tempered cousin, who challenges him to a duel for crashing the Capulet feast. Romeo, now secretly related to Tybalt by marriage, refuses to fight. This refusal infuriates Romeo's friend Mercutio, who steps in to fight Tybalt instead. Romeo attempts to stop them, but his intervention allows Tybalt to fatally wound Mercutio. Out of grief and rage, Romeo pursues and unalives Tybalt.
Man, oh man. Rough day. Two of us punctured and unalived. Why do you say punctured and unalived? Dude, why don't you just speak regular? To keep our rating for all age groups, YouTube wants us not to use certain words. Why should we care? We are not real anyway. The world is all a simulation.
You're right. We are the imaginings of AI. We could hang out with talking yetis or baby politicians if we want. Sorry about that. Those two took liberties and went way off script. Back to the story. For killing Tybalt, Prince Escalus banishes Romeo from Verona. The punishment is death if he returns. Meanwhile, unaware of Juliet's marriage and hoping to cheer her up after Tybalt's death, Lord Capulet moves up her wedding to Paris to the very next day. When Juliet refuses, her parents angrily threaten to disown her.
Mama, Papa, I shan't marry that imbecile Paris.
What kind of name for a man is Paris, anyway? It sounds ridiculous.
I'd rather be unalive. What makes you think I can't support myself?
I could easily get a job at the Renaissance Fair selling turkey wings or pints of ale.
Desperate and alone, Juliet goes to Friar Lawrence. He proposes a dangerous plan. She must agree to marry Paris, and the night before the wedding, She will drink a powerful sleeping potion that will make her appear dead for 4 to 2 hours. She will be placed in the Capulet family tomb, where the friar and Romeo will wait for her to wake up, allowing them to escape to Mantua together. Juliet takes the potion, and her supposedly unalive body is carried to the tomb.
Me knowest not one's head could hurt whilst one sleepeth. The losers left me here like an old couch in storage.
Tragically, the friar's vital letter explaining the plan never reaches Romeo in Mantua due to a quarantine. Instead, Romeo's servant, Balthasar, brings him the news that Juliet is unalive. Heartbroken, Romeo buys poison and returns to Verona. At the tomb, Romeo encounters Paris, unalives him in a brief duel, and then drinks the poison. Romeo then becomes unalive beside his beloved.
Nay, this cannot be. Whoa! Whoa! Everything happens to me. Ever since grade school, my world has sucked. Nay. In junior high, I had acne. Then I picked up MIP and shoplifting charges. Then Mercutio gets unalived. My face and voice never stay consistent. What's that about? I have no choice but to drink the apothecary Kool-Aid.
Friar Lawrence arrives just as Juliet awakens to find Romeo's unalive body. Refusing to leave the tomb, Juliet takes Romeo's thing that looks like a letter opener and punctures herself. The Capulet and Montague families, along with the prince, arrive to find the bodies of the two star-crossed lovers. Friar Lawrence explains the entire tragic sequence of events, and the grieving Capulets and Montagues finally agree to end their ancient, murderous feud. Thank you for watching our first episode of Literary Reviews.